If there's one meta hero that can play multiple roles and still be strong in every role, it's Baxia. He can play jungle, EXP lane, and roam. And those who watch ML tournaments know this, because we often see pro players using Baxia in all three roles. Aside from his flexibility, he's often used because of his Lifebane passive, which stacks with other Lifebane items, making him effective against healers and heroes with high spell vamp or lifesteal. Another thing is he's very tanky because enemy damage is reduced by 25 per hit, making him a great counter to Kimmy and Chang'e, who are very popular in ranked games right now. In this game, I used him as a jungler, which I think is his best role, especially if your roamer is a healer like Angela, and I think Angela is the best roamer for him. You'll see in this game why. Since Baxia is already tanky even on his own, he becomes even tankier when Angela uses her ultimate on him, and he still deals a lot of damage. Angela can also stay inside Baxia for a long time because of his tankiness. Though in this game, I used a semi-mage build, and it actually works, especially as a jungler. Some players say that full magic build on Baxia is also good, but in my opinion, it's not advisable because he becomes too easy to burst. And if you miss your second skill even once, it's very punishable. That's why for me this hybrid build is better than going full magic build. For the emblem, I still use the tank emblem, so he's already tanky in the early game. And my tier 3 talent is Killing Spree, which is also good, especially during team fights. My first build on him is Clock of Destiny, and you'll see in this part how effective that first item is, especially when Angela uses her ultimate. It's like having a cheat code right away. Not many players know about this strategy, especially solo players. But the thing is, it's rare to have a good lineup that complements each other when you're playing solo. I just got lucky in this game because I had an Angela, even though she was just a random teammate. Here it felt so unfair because I was already really low on HP, but he was still refusing to die. My second build in this game was Oracle, since I had an Angela, to boost the healing she gives me. Though in this part, I hadn't built it yet. It was also combined with Revitalize, which further increases healing. We even wiped out the enemies there, but I still got killed because I thought Beleric was the one fighting me before I died. Turns out it was Alpha. And because of his true damage, my HP got drained really fast. In this part, Beleric got low on HP, and I really thought Clint could finish him off, so I decided to chase the enemy marksman and mage instead. But then Alpha suddenly showed up and Beleric didn't even get killed, and it was actually our marksman who ended up dying. Alpha caught up to Angela, so I had no choice but to help her. But then the enemy mage and marksman suddenly came back, so Angela still ended up getting killed, and I almost got taken down too. Good thing I managed to recall just in time. Here, I was just checking the bush when Beleric started chasing me, so I just gave him what he wanted. I kept throwing plates at him, and he couldn't do anything but run away. He was at full HP earlier, and just like that, he was almost dead. I just tried to mess with the enemies here, and I found a sea lion. And yeah, they didn't hold back. They used up all their skills, even the ultimates of all these 4 enemies. And I'm still here, like nothing even happened. And it looks like Angela's finally getting her revenge on Alpha here. Look at Alpha though, pitiful creature. After we killed Alpha, we immediately went for the Lord and we were able to secure it. But the enemy burst it down right away because my teammates didn't do any lane management. Guys, if you have the Lord, don't clear the mid lane, especially if the Lord is going there. Just clear the side lane so the minions push together. The mid lane has the shortest path. That's why it's important to delay clearing it so all the minions arrive at the base at the same time. And here, watch how broken the Angela and Baxia combo is. All 5 enemies used their skills on me, even threw all their ultimates at me, and still couldn't kill me. The enemies ended up getting wiped instead. And not gonna lie, Angela did an amazing job here. My Angela teammate was really good because she knew exactly who to attach to. If you're using Angela as a solo player, you only have one job. Use your ultimate on your strongest and most reliable teammate. Don't use your ultimate to a feeder. If they start feeding, don't waste your ultimate on them. It'll just go to waste. So after that team fight where all the enemies wasted their skills on me, the game ended right after. And look at my build in this game. You'll be surprised that I didn't even build that many defense items. But even then, I was already so tanky for the enemies and absorbed over half of their total damage. That's crazy. I played Baxia again, and this time I used him as a roamer. And in my opinion, roamer is the hardest role to carry with as a solo player, because no matter how good your rotations are, if your teammates are dumb, they're just dumb. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why I always respect solo roamers, because that's the one role most players avoid. They don't like it. And it's rare to see a solo player who only plays roam and is actually really good at it, right? You'll always see teammates whose recent matches are all gold lane. Others play only jungle or mid. They hate adjusting so much that they'll use any hero just to stick to their role. EXP lane is already rare, but what you'll almost never see, like once in a blue moon, is a player who actually mains roam and sticks to it. That's why you should respect good roamers. They're one of a kind. Some players don't even have a single gold lane game in their recent matches, but they'll still fight over gold lane just to avoid being the roamer. Anyways, what's great about Baxia as a roamer is his presence on the map. Because of his first skill, he can rotate around the map really fast, and of course his Life Bane passive is a super solid feature. It's really unique since he's the only one with that ability. His Life Bane stacks can reach up to 75% if you stack Life Bane items. Because Baxia is so solid, I was able to kill the enemy gold, EXP, and mid lane one after another. And Xavier gets killed again here, at the same spot where I killed him earlier. Here I tried to save Granger, but he really couldn't make it. But Julian arrived right away and almost wiped out the enemies. Suyu is funny though. They were running away because of Julian. I almost died here too. But thankfully their damage wasn't enough. One thing I like about Baxia is how long the stun lasts on his first skill. It feels like getting hit by Selena's stun. Just make sure you use your first skill right before it hits the enemy. This is Julian's most solid highlight in this game. He just gave the turtle to the enemies because we didn't really need it. He was probably thinking we could still win without it. The fact that he laughed after that and told us his retribution was available at that time is proof that he did it on purpose and wanted to give the enemies an advantage. This is why roamer is the hardest role and why it's almost impossible to carry your teammates once they start throwing, especially if you're using a tank hero. But even if you're a damage hero, the fact is you're usually the one with the least gold and lowest level, so it's still really tough. On the other hand, jungler is the easiest role to carry as a solo player. The whole flow of the game, from early to late, depends on them. They're the ones who take objectives like Turtle or Lord, and their rotations set the pace. And once your jungler throws and gives objectives to the enemy, it's really hard to win. My teammates started throwing one after another here, and like I said earlier, no matter how good my start was, it all became useless once my teammates began to throw, and there was nothing I could do about it. At this point, we were still ahead of the enemy, but soon after, the enemy suddenly got stronger. Our mage was always too out of position, trying too hard to land the perfect ultimate, and because of that, he got killed multiple times. Then our marksman also kept getting out of position, making him super easy to kill, especially with a Matilda on the enemy team who could easily chase down my teammates. Here's my tip. If you're low HP and the enemy has long-range heroes like Xavier or Nevaria, don't go into bushes. That's where they usually throw their skills, expecting you to hide there. The enemy marksman started getting strong, and that's one of Baxia's weaknesses. He's very easy to burst down. His damage reduction becomes almost useless. Also against other burst-type heroes. Our marksman died again, and right after that, our jungler followed. I already had Twilight armor and Blade armor in this game, but Leslie still burst me down so easily.